everyone, you're welcome to Ifeoma Speaks. My name is Ifeoma Chibogu, and today with me on Ifeoma Speaks, I have the dignified presence of somebody who is father to many, role model to many, and mentor to many, including my humble self. I'm actually very excited, and I'm sure you'll like to meet him. He's no other person than Apostle Dr. Hayford Alile. He was the Director General and Chief Executive of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. He has been on the board of the Central Bank of Nigeria. He has been on the board of the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting PLC. He served as the chairman of several companies including Unilever Nigeria PLC, Oceanic Bank Nigeria PLC, now EcoBank Nigeria PLC, UTC Nigeria PLC, and AfriInvest West Africa Limited. He is life member of the Nigerian Economic Society. He is a fellow of several professional bodies including the Nigeria Institute of Management, Institute of Directors of Nigeria, and Chartered Institute of Secretaries and Company Administrators. Apostle Alile holds the honorary degree of Doctor of Science from Benue State University, Makurdi, Nigeria. He is a recipient of the Nigeria National Honor Awards of the Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and National Productivity Order of Merit. Apostle Alile was the Secretary General of the then National Union of Nigeria Students and the Treasurer Trustee of the Nigeria Olympic Committee. He has authored several books in management development in Nigeria and on the capital market. He is happily married to a beautiful, elegant woman, and they are blessed with lovely children. Apostle Dr. Hayford Alile, OFR, NPOM, is the spiritual leader of a large church, St. Joseph's Chosen Church of God International. Welcome back. My name is Ifeoma Chibogu, and this is Ifeoma Speaks. And with me today on Ifeoma Speaks, like I told you earlier, I have the dignified presence of Apostle Dr. Hayford Alile, OFR, NPOM. Apostle sir, you're welcome to Ifeoma Speaks.
Thank you very much.
We're going to be talking about prevailing issues. The first one that comes to mind is same-sex marriage. Before, it was a taboo to talk about it or even discuss it. In fact, it was unthinkable, it was unheard of. But these days, even pastors are getting engaged in it, and it is being accepted, it's acceptable, it's becoming a norm. Adam is getting married to Steve, and Eve is getting married to Adama. I don't know, sir, if you have anything to share with us on that.
To a certain extent, the subject is of increasing concern to some of us. But look at the population, almost 7 to 8 billion human beings.
Yes, sir.
Well, I would say that people have access to the communication lines, who read and write. We are not up to 1% of those who have decayed in that direction. But our concern as Christians is to keep praying for them. That this is not what God had in mind in creating all of us. What He had in mind when He saw that man created, that He created in His own image and after His likeness, was deviating from the path that He had set for him. So He decided to create a woman who would be keeping man companionship, who will be doing according to his wish. But if it continues this way, it means that we are not praying and reminding our Father in heaven that some of his children are decaying.
I think I like the use of the word decay. I find it rather interesting. Okay, so if we see homosexuality as decay and pastors are engaging in it, how do we communicate to their flock? How do they know that it is wrong, that it's not acceptable? How do we now get people to know that something is not very right with that kind of lifestyle?
Well, what we are doing now, recording the views of people who are opposed to that lifestyle, is a way.
Yes, sir.
I hope that they will view this recording.
Yes, sir.
And reflect it in their minds, read the pathway that God has established for us through his book, the Holy Bible. Chapters 1 and 2 and 3 of the Holy Bible, the first 3 chapters of the book of Genesis.
Yes, sir.
How we came about.
Yes, sir.
Talked about this issue and how God created man and woman to be able to replicate what God has put in Adam and Eve, and from there carry on. And as we read through this, reflect on it again, I'm quite sure a lot of people have allowed themselves to be decaying and turn around.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And hopefully, a lot of people will get to watch this, and the revolution will start from here. And that so many people will begin to have a paradigm shift. Thank you very much, sir. I have a second question, and it's on tithing. It has actually been quite controversial lately. And people are now wondering whether to tithe or not. They are not very sure what is right and what is not so right.
Well, the Lord God did not, after creating the universe, he looked at what he created on earth and he says, they are all good. But he is going back to his heavenly palace and would like somebody to supervise what he has already created. And he looked at us, they are good, and we will need for them to have the resource for the supervision exercise. And that means all the trees he created will bear fruits, and those fruits will be harvested by some people to generate both fruits and money to do the work of catering, nourishing all the things that he has, and replenishing all the things that he has created. And he says, okay, after create man, man shall earn money from all the productive people, animals, fish, birds, that he has already created. And how do we set up a cycle of utilization and nourishing and replenishing? And he says, okay, man who has done well in his kingdom, he will bless them. Out of that blessing, 10% will be for me, God. That 10% will be made available to his instruments, priests, the clergymen, which they can use in expanding his kingdom. So that some of us who are clergymen will not work for 12 by 7. Whatever they harvest, take 90% of it to expand the church. He, the Almighty God, will use 10% to nourish his instruments and also to test out whether those he has blessed or harvested are gracious enough to come back to he, the Creator, and say, thank you, sir. Here is a portion of what you have paid into me. And that's what he called tithe, 1/10 of your revenues. And I will tell you, I'm an example. When I was working in the world, as God promised me, I was right straight on top of issues of production machines, of the world production machines. But when I compare my living and lifestyle of the past, when I was working, compared to today, when I look up to God for my daily bread, I feel more comfortable today. Enjoy a lot of good things because they're coming straight from the hand of the Master. And I believe every Christian who emulates those things that are spelled out in Malachi,
yes.
Book of Malachi,
Yes, sir.
chapters mostly 2, 3,
Yes, sir.
on tithing.
Yes, sir.
You will find that if you practice it as the Lord expects of you, you will live very blessed, comfortable life.
Okay. If I heard you correctly, tithing is a way of appreciating God and saying thank you for all He has done. And it's also a way of maintaining pastors who are not working the 9-to-5 way. So it's very necessary for people to pay tithe so that the house of God can be in order. Alright, we have heard it from Apostle Dr. Hayford Alile. This is a different view on some of the things we've heard, because we've heard that tithing is not of God, we've heard that it is not biblical, and so many people have faulted the scriptures in Malachi. Thank you very much, sir, for the answers to the questions. We really appreciate your wealth of experience. And well, viewers, before we go on to the next question, we'll take a short break. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back, viewers, and thank you very much for still being with us. And thank you, sir. The next question I would like to ask is on the flamboyant lifestyle of contemporary pastors. It is actually very alarming and a major source of concern because their paraphernalia is almost like that of politicians. I'm talking about the private jets, I'm talking about the flashy cars, the armored cars, and the bodyguards. You hardly see pastors these days moving around without tight security, and one is bound to wonder what they are afraid of. And if their God is not enough to take care of them, if their God cannot take care of them. So I'd actually like to know your view on that.
It's really a situation that is making some of us feel ashamed of seeing people whose lifestyle is competing with those who are leading evil lives. Our duty will be to take away from the time we spend praying for the sustainability of genuine Christians. I'm moving that time to pray for these new time ministers. Really, we don't need to spend our time on this, but make sure that the world gives a second chance to those who are misbehaving. We continue to pray for them even in our private lives. But what is worrying is that a simple situation that some people do not understand is worrying. How do you go around telling the world, don't do this, don't live this type of lifestyle, don't steal, and then begin to do exactly what you are telling them not to do? It's worrying. And all we need to do is look up to our Creator and tell Him that some of us are misbehaving, neutralizing what we are telling the world about you, God. So help us turn them around.
Interesting. I like the point you made. That's a very good point. Well, viewers, we have heard it from Apostle Dr. Hayford Alile. So rather than spend time criticizing pastors, we should pray for them. Our next question today, sir, it is on love in Christendom. It's on love between amongst the people of God, because these days what we see, particularly in Christian leadership, is so much competition, so much rancor, and I don't know if there is anything we can do to regulate or to mend this anomaly.
Well, there's not much except to look up to God. And I wanted to use the word, remind our Father in heaven that this is not what you created us for. This is not the definition of love that you gave to us in your holy book. Unfortunately, as you say, a lot of us ministers compete for the time of our people and tell them to dress this way, to go to this type of school, and so on and so forth. The Bible is very definitive of the assignment. God spelled out in the Bible that the third party of the Blessed Trinity that will be communicating between us and Himself is the Holy Ghost. And the Holy Ghost spelled out to us the gifts out of which a Christian will be endowed. And love, of course, is one of them. In practice, God expects each and every one of us to focus our mind and our attention on how best to love our neighbors. And our neighbors could be either good or evil. Your duty is not to find out whether he's evil or this. Your duty is to love such a person. For example, you know that your enemy has very limited number of apparatus, and it spreads the best ones on the wire outside for the sun to shine on them and dry them, and suddenly rain started falling. We said, okay, let
it fall. Let it be wet.
It's your duty to help take those clothes in, leave the rest unto God as judgment, whatever reward He wants to give to your enemy. He never fails in that.
And that is actually a key takeaway for our viewers. I'd like you to know that as Christians, or even if you're not even Christians, that if you can exhibit love in your heart, God will always be there for you and God will always stand for you. I'd like to know if there's anything else you want to tell us, any other experience you want to share, anything you want to throw light on, a word for the audience. They'll want to get to know one or two things about you, sir.
Well, we have quite a lot to talk about, but behind it all is love. It's all summarized under the practical instruction given to us by God. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love God in all that you do. And all these questions are all roped under that love in doing exactly what God asks you to do. He says, pay your tithe. You can't sleep on two beds in one night. If you have to, wake up from one bed to the other one, you will not sleep. You can't drive two cars at the same time. God knows your need and your desire. He will always meet you at the point of your request. If you can eat one bowl of rice, why are you stealing from the others and making your table four bowls? You cannot eat all of them. So, love yourself. Don't overeat. And don't steal from others. Once you know how to love yourself and preparing yourself for salvation, apply that same love to your neighbor. It must come from inside you. To love your neighbor. Brethren, we've talked for almost half an hour, and all that we are saying is still just 1% or less than 1% of what is contained in the guideline that God has given to us here in the Bible. Read and apply all the practical things of love in this Bible to yourself, to God, relationship with you, God's relationship with you. And when you do so, salvation is assured.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you. Well, viewers, I am still Ifeoma Chibogu, and this is still Ifeoma Speaks. Do subscribe to Ifeoma Speaks and follow us on all social media platforms. I'd like you to remember that life is meaningless until you find your purpose. And today, I want you to know that that purpose is to love yourself, love your neighbor, and love God with all your heart.